You, Brad, you're ready to go? Well, I'd like to welcome everybody again. Thanks for coming out to another Hardrocker Luncheon. I'd like to thank Marco's Pizza for sponsoring this afternoon. Really good stuff, and we appreciate you coming. A lot of coaches to get through. We have some scholar athletes here as well that you can meet and hear from. First up, we'll start with Tiffany McCampbell, the volleyball team. I thought had a great weekend this past weekend. There's just no doubt about it. She'll expand on it. Please welcome head coach Tiffany McCampbell.
I have one student athlete, Jena Kruezer from Westminster, Colorado. She is a redshirt sophomore outside hitter. Played very well this weekend. So when I'm done, Jen will come up and talk about some thoughts from this weekend. But realistically, if you'd have told me we'd go 2-2 this past weekend, I would have said there was absolutely no way. And we talked about that as a team. The 4 teams we played this weekend were just unbelievable opponents for us. Very athletic, Northern Sun Conference teams, and we talked a lot this weekend about being tough, and we had a lot of coaches come up and compliment us just as far as how resilient our team was. And we love to play 5-set matches. Again, we played 2 5-set matches, 1 4-set match. This is some clips from the University of Sioux Falls match, our first match of the weekend. They have a 6'4" right side. Number 12 here, you can plainly see her, very good player on their team. We did a lot of things to take them out of system, but we played phenomenal defense all weekend against some teams that, to be honest with you, were clearly better than us. They were bigger, more athletic, but I thought our team played with a lot more heart and intensity, and we had a lot of guts this weekend. So I was really proud of this group as far as how they stood in and really pulled together. One thing I love about having a roster of 12 is this group has a great ability with team chemistry. Sam Johnson playing in the middle on this side. She was awarded to the all-tournament team this weekend. She finished the weekend with 46 kills. She attacked 303, which is a very big number in the sport of volleyball. Definite leader in this team. As you saw right there, she had a solo block there as well. And I felt like this Sioux Falls match was a turning point with our confidence, especially with our young kids. If you look, we've got a freshman libero, Kylie Gorn-Pradham, Skylar Larson, number 5 is a freshman DS as well. Michaela Reese, number 2, is a sophomore, and then Jenna is a sophomore as well. So just being able to take a young team like this and have them really be aggressive with some opponents, like I said, who were very well-established Northern Sun teams, and be able to take teams to 5 sets and 4 sets. We finished out the weekend against number 23 in the country, Augustana, and Coach Tabbert and I both agree that was the best game we played all weekend. The scores were relatively close, 25-19, 25-19, but we just felt like we really improved this past weekend. Confidence is going to be a big issue with this team, and so sitting at 4-5 for us is a pretty nice feat. It feels comfortable right now, but we talked a lot about yesterday that we've got to go into this Johnson and Wales tournament this weekend where we're playing 3 NAIA teams, and we've got to kind of make a small statement with the RMAC that if we have close scores this weekend, then it's not going to set us on the right path. We've got to continue to play like we did against Dickinson last week, as far as being real aggressive offensively, playing confidently, limiting our errors. I felt like we did a really good job of that, of making sure we cut down our errors, but also took care of the ball when we needed to this past weekend. So great weekend out of us, but like I said, even 2 weeks before, it's really early in the year, and we want to continue to get better and better. And we've got some really good opponents coming up later in our schedule with Mesa State and Adams State and Colorado Christian. So we want to make sure we're in a good position to be able to play those teams well, and try to knock off some of those opponents as well. Does anybody have any questions for me? Jenna? I will introduce Jenna. I'll let her kind of talk about herself and then let her talk about this weekend. And Jenna, like I said, is a redshirt sophomore. She's redshirted last year due to injury, and I'm very happy to say that it's great to have her back on the floor. Definite energy producer, definite leader, even as a redshirt sophomore. She had a very good weekend for us, and we're excited to see how she grows for us. So thank you.
Hi, my name's Jena Kruezer. If any of you has been around the volleyball team, we have a pretty set introductory things we like to tell people, so I'm just going to ramble them off. I'm a mechanical engineering major. In finishing up my junior year in school, semester-wise, and I'm from Denver, Colorado, Westminster more specifically. I play outside hitter Let's see, anything exciting about me? Let's see. Something exciting about me is that I love to travel, and I'm looking into the future, getting a master's degree abroad after I study here in mechanical engineering. Um, so last weekend we went 2-2, which is okay, not great as far as wins, but Coach McCampbell really put it in a good way, saying that we played really good last weekend. We had really tough opponents, and I think what we learned last weekend is how we got a lot better from the previous weekend, but we learned even more things we need to work on. A lot of them dealing with consistency and just making smart plays. There are some times when we play very, very smart, and there are some times when we don't play as smart as we can. So that makes a big difference when you're coming down to 3 points difference in games and stuff like that. So we're really working on trying to make the best decisions and getting better as a team and more consistent. This weekend, we're really excited. I'm going back home, so I just can't wait. My entire family's coming out, so we'll have not as good as a home crowd game, a home crowd like we have here, where we have great fans that always come out. But we'll have people there helping us on, giving us encouragement, and really watching us go. We're still trying to improve, and I think each person on our team really has specific things they want to improve on. Some things that I'm really working on improving on is making sure when we're out of system and I'm hitting a ball that's not perfect, that I'm making good high swings, making smart decisions, and really waiting before I go attack it and getting behind the ball. And then on defense, I'm just working on being low and stopped, so I'm ready for whatever is coming at me. I think this weekend we want to win a lot, and we want to do it very well, which is hard for me to say because I don't like to complain about or like prejudge things, but we want to do really good this weekend, and we know if we play at our level and we worry about what we're doing, we can do very good this weekend. So, is there anything else you would like me to talk about? Any questions you guys have for me? Oh, come on, Coach Paula.
Well, I always like to lead our coaches. Do you have any fun stories about either of your coaches?
Oh. Either. Oh, oh. I have a lot of fun stories, a lot of inside jokes that we think are funny, so I'm going to try to find one that I think everyone will enjoy. I guess one of my favorite times with coaches a couple of years ago, I'm going to use it. We went to Daytona Beach for a tournament 2 years ago, and Coach was really excited to be on the beach, be in the warm, sunny weather because it was snowing back here. And I remember this song. What era is this song, Coach? 90s? It's Vanilla Ice in the 90s. And the whole time, every time we were driving, she would just be like, A18 Beachfront Avenue, just singing that song the entire trip. So that was a really fun trip, and I really thought it was funny because it's usually us singing and not her. So it was one time when the roles reversed. Any other questions?
Tell us what you did this past summer.
Okay, this past summer I worked in an aggregate mine. So our job was to blow up rock, crush it, and then sell it so we could make roads and dams and buildings. Some of my jobs were I was in charge of site improvement. So if they had a problem with a specific area, I'd have to look and design how to fix the problem and then hire out contractors and implement the problem. So it was it was a lot of design, but it was also a little bit of project management. And I worked a lot on not necessarily everything happening in the plant, but the things happening outside of the plant. For instance, we were a wet plant, so we used a lot of water, and no one ever noticed where that water goes or where the waste goes. But part of my job was figuring out the next step when our silt pond filled up where we were going to. So I loved it, had a lot of fun. Different environment than I've ever been in, but it was good learning experience. Anything else? Well, thank you.
Now we know what they do on road trips to Florida. That's good. And I've never heard it put that way. We didn't play as smart as we can. I've heard it put other ways, but that's a good point. I thought this guy did a nice job last weekend as well. Joe Berger got a big win against Southwest Baptist, Hardrocker Soccer. That was huge. And then they played number 23 team in the country, Fort Hays, and I thought, had a great showing there as well. So welcome Joe Berger, head coach of the soccer program.
Well, I'm not sure how to start my talk because it's been the same thing for about 2 years now, and it's nice to actually talk about the guys and their effort. It was neat after the game to see the relief on the juniors' faces, to feel like they've achieved something, and then also the excitement for the freshmen. So it's good. It's nice to have those kids with the sweat equity finally seeing the fruits of their labors. I think there's a real belief in our team that we can play with anybody, and then we're lucky enough that we play the University of Mary on Friday night at 7 o'clock at Sioux Park, and they were at our tournament, so we've already seen them play twice. So I think that gives us a little bit of an advantage going in, and definitely have them at home. So I'm excited. I think it's neat to see us in the mix in the GNAC, and hopefully we'll come in and get a good result Friday and keep making our mark. And I think our kids are excited. We actually had the best day of practice we've had in a long time on Monday. You can see the kids are sprightly and energetic, and it was kind of go. And we'll kind of go to the highlights, Brad Bloom. This is kind of us playing at Sioux Park. This is kind of a clever ball from Andrea Scow, one of our juniors, to Sam Latempt on the walls, as you can see, and we win a corner off this, kind of deflecting, which corners are good in soccer, so we get ever to go. And we actually go down 1-0 in this game. Their boy hit a bomb that hit the post, and then one of our players and went in. So even though we won, I think our team still likes to deal with adversity in the game, which gives me more gray hairs and different things. But so this is good. This is a good corner. We have David Cabrera getting ready to take it, and we, as you see, us on the attack, getting in there, fighting for a ball, comes out, and we're another good ball that was saved, that we were just not on the back. This is our goal, our first goal of the night. It's awesome for me as a coach to think of this, because we had 8 freshmen on the field when this happened. This is Jake Smith, one of our seniors, and he hit a bomb there. And I don't know if you know soccer, but he hit it pretty well. It was like a knuckleball, and it was spiraling and moving, which made it hard on the goalkeeper. And this is him being excited, trying to get the ball so we can restart to see if we can go get the win. And then it was awesome. And then the next goal comes off a free kick that David Cabrera was able to draw pretty close here. Got a little knocked down here, and this is quite a ball. When we do our free kicks, we try to add pressure to the team, and this is a great ball by Andreas Scow when he plays this ball in. Our objective is to try to turn the backs around so they face their own goal. So if they get a touch, it goes on goal. But this is a great effort by Sean Tabbert, our freshman leading scorer with 2 goals this season, to get on the back end. So it's just a little bit through. As you can see, nobody wants to defend facing their own goal. And it was an easy little touch away. But the ball provided from our junior, Andreas Scow, was fan. And you can see the excitement in these guys. They're feeling it. And it was good for them to have that feeling and kind of keep moving forward. So it's an exciting time. When we played Hayes, we definitely had the belief that we could play with them and win. We gave up a goal where our freshman goalie took a concussion, so we switched goalies, and then our junior goalie, Eric Milbrand, stepped up and did a fantastic job of filling in and going, and he may be asked to step up again as we play Mary and kind of keep going. But it's good. I think the guys really believe that they're competitive, and I think that we start still some young players. I still think we're a work in progress. I still think we can grow a lot, but to be fair, I'm really looking forward to next year when I can say I'm starting no freshmen. Because it seems like for 3 years we've been doing this. But as you can see with our 2 leading scorers are freshmen. that the quality of student athlete that we're able to bring in after 3 years, after we've had a little bit of time to recruit and not just try to survive. So we're definitely moving in the right direction. You should be proud of these young men, how they represent you every time they go out on the field. And we're just excited to keep moving forward, and we're excited to get back on the pitch Friday. We're looking forward to a big crowd. We have the Black Hills Rapids night coming for M Week. It's M Week. I know they're walking over and cooking out for the game. So hopefully now that we've got our first D2 win, now we can go get our first GNAC win and be at the top of the table at 1-0. So that's what we're striving for. We're looking forward to a great practice tonight, and hopefully we can keep moving forward. Any questions for me? 2-0. 2-0. We gave up a goal pretty early, and then we gave up a goal with under 2 minutes. There was a corner kick, and we sent everybody. We had actually missed a penalty. It would have made it 1-1, but which we have to fix. We need to start making penalties. But 1-1, and then they caught us. We pushed everybody forward, and we had a new starter. Instead of just putting the ball back forward, take an extra touch, and it was a bad touch, and they won it and went in. So, yeah, it was 2-0. 2-0. It's wonderful. The surface is absolutely fantastic. I think it benefits our team because we are a little bit more technical than we have been, that we can control and move the ball. So, yeah, it's fantastic. We love being in the center of the city where people see the lights on and they're ready to come out and play. So, no, it's fantastic. Anything else? I don't have a student athlete here. Andreas Scow, who you saw excited, called in sick. So we need to get him well before Thursday, so I thought dragging him out of bed would be a good deal, not be a good thing today. So we will definitely have somebody here to speak with you about what's going on and hopefully a positive result against Mary on Friday. Thank you, guys.
Next up, cross country. They've had a couple of meets under their belts and just got done with one this past weekend. Welcome head coach Steve Johnson.
All right. Well, last week we were getting ready for Shattern State, and we went down. We had on the women's side, it wound up being a duel with Shattern. Central Wyoming College came up as well, but they only had one woman on the roster. So it wound up being us versus Shattern. Going into it, we had 3 goals that we had laid out. Most of them were organized around time, but the biggest piece that we were looking at was to try and mix it up a little better with Shattern's 3, 4, and 5 runners. And at our home meet 2 weeks ago, we had put 1 ahead of their 5th runner. This last week, we put 5 ahead of their 5th runner, and we got 1 ahead of their 4th, and she was 6 seconds behind their 3rd. So we did a nice job improving on that. Brought our pack time down to a nice tight 38 seconds, which is about as good as it gets in cross country. And they did a nice job stepping up. On the men's side, we were going in, we were hoping to turn the tables on us. They beat us at home 2 weeks ago, and we were in good position to do that with a quarter mile to go, and honestly just got out-kicked down the stretch. 400 meters, and our guys just couldn't quite hold on. We spent most of the race stalking their guys. Travis Boost, our number 1 guy on the men's side, was sitting in 4th throughout most of the race and moved up into 2nd in that last quarter mile, and he held on to his position. And then we had a group of 3 that was Cole Yolovich, Tyler Knack, and Kevin Noto, and those guys moved up into position up ahead of Shattern's 3, 4, and 5 guys, and just unfortunately couldn't quite hold on to it. So it was a tight race. The men actually finished just a second behind on pack time than the women did. So we ran well. We just need to make sure that we don't get beat down the stretch. Any questions for me? All right, thank you.
Hardrocker football team back at home on Saturday. We all know that. M-Day against University of Wisconsin River Falls. We'll welcome head coach Stacy Collins.
Thanks, Nate. Thank everybody for coming out. Certainly a tough weekend. I need you to come talk to our football team about playing smart, all right? We'll start with that on that piece. That's where I missed the ball, Tiff. That's not an NCAA violation or anything. Is we okay with that? So, no. You go through a rivalry game. We didn't play well enough. We made way too many mistakes, and those are tough ones. As a coach, there's always a few that sit on you and keep you up for a long time. And this one's going to keep me up all this last week, and certainly about 365 more days till we get another shot at those guys. But give credit's due. Coach Reiners and his staff had their guys ready to go. They played well. They made the plays they needed to play in critical situations. And as tough as that thing was, you're looking at the scoreboard 34-30. We got some momentum. We got a chance to go out and still win it. And we didn't get it done. And we found a way in all three phases to kind of shoot ourselves in the foot. I've been doing this a long time. At Portland State, we led the nation in punt blocks. I've never blocked two back-to-back and then never get one. So those were the things that seem to kind of keep riding. Every time I turn around, we're down 14-0 on the scoreboard. You can't play football that way. You just can't do it. And we've got to be able to stop people in critical downs. We've got to hold on to the football offensively. And we got to do a much better job on special teams of turning the table. And we left some things out there on the field. So we've got to regroup, come together. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. We got a great group of kids. We've rebounded, and it's time to go back to work. So any questions that I can answer about the Black Hill State game? Yeah. Yeah, we got them both. We got two in a row. You know, we jump off sides on the first one, block it, and we actually returned that one to about the 4-yard line. But Yep, and then the second one, we turn around, then they re-kick it. We block it again, and John, it's right in his hands. And shoot, if there's anybody I want the ball in their hands, it's John Tyler. He's as sure-handed guy as we got. And he bobbles it, and it rolls past the line of scrimmage. So now, at that point, once it goes past the line of scrimmage and we touch it again, it's considered a fumble. It's basically a muff punt. And those are tough ones because those are game-changing. You block a punt, you win a game 88% of the time. You block two, it's got to be pretty close to 100%. And to not get anything out of it was a major momentum turn on that piece. That was one of a dozen that you look at and you just shake your head and say, we got to find a way to get make those plays in critical situations. Yeah, we're actually going to be okay. You know, we took some shots on Saturday. We weren't sure if Trent's wrist was broken or sprained. That was the biggest issue. After X-rays, it's sprained, so we're able to brace it up. Evan's fine. He took a pretty good shot, but he's fine. Ben, it's a crazy deal. You know, he got his elbow hit, and you know that there's that nerve that shoots up through there, and that's what that was. So at the end of the day, at the quarterback position, we're going to be okay. Sam Cowan's gone for the season with his ankle, and that's tough with Sam. I mean, he's just a great young man, but he should be able to get a medical red shirt and come back next year. So physically, you know, coming out of that game, a lot of guys go down, but we're probably in better shape than we thought, you know, Saturday night and Sunday morning. He did, yeah, and he had surgery this morning. Yeah. Yeah, we got some clips from the game here on Saturday. This guy had a great game on Saturday. This is Danny Ziegler. He's a true freshman for us out of Bellingham, Washington. I think he had 8 catches for 155 yards. He has been phenomenal as a true freshman. He plays on a large group of special teams. We have, you know, a group of players of the week, and he was our pickaxe player. There's Ben Broker getting in the end zone, you know, on that piece, and we certainly had a shot later where we got a holding penalty, but we packaged Ben up. He's a big guy, 6'5", 240, that we can get some quarterback run stuff in, and he throws it well enough. Big-time pick here by Trey Better. You know, he had 2 picks in the game last year. This one's a bang-bang one right on the sideline, but if you really watch it, his left foot comes in, so we did get, you know, it was the correct call on the pick, and we really gained some momentum right there. Had that 10-point swing in the early part of the third quarter, and we were back in the game. That's a great play by Trey. He's done a good job with that all season. Trey's been hit and miss. He's got some knee injury issues that are causing him some problems and causing him some problems late in the game. But this is a great play. That left foot gets in first before the right goes out of bounds, and tremendous interception to give us some momentum. And then here was our last touchdown. Tim Crenshaw gets a one-on-one situation at the top of the screen, and Tim's a very good receiver. Having him back, having him healthy, he was tremendous with us in the return game, and that's certainly a great route, a great catch. Evan put the ball right on the money. I thought Evan did a tremendous job coming in the middle of the third quarter there and being very productive. So that was a good pitch and catch by both of those guys. This week we've got Wisconsin River Falls, certainly an opponent I don't believe we've ever played before here. They're from a very, very strong league out there in Wisconsin. Wisconsin Whitewater's in that league. They opened up with St. John's, who isn't in their conference, but a perennial, powerhouse team in that group. They're big, they're physical, and so it'll certainly be a challenge, but we're excited about the opportunity to have anybody out, have everybody out here at M-Day. Any other questions I can answer before I bring a couple of our players up here? Yeah, we mixed it. We actually started the game with a little bit more single-high safety. We wanted to work into that, some of the third down issues we had against Colorado Mines. So we went up and challenged them. Give Black Hills credit. They played some good pitch and catch, went after a couple matchups with some of our young corners when some guys got hurt. But, yeah, we did play some single-high safety a lot in the first half. Second half, we mixed it up a little bit more. Yeah, we're pretty good at the corner position. The two of the big ones we had, Josh Thomas was out of the game. He's been a 3-year starting cornerback for us. So, like I said, give them credit. They're able to find the matchups they want to find. We wanted to challenge them, force them to throw the long ball. The percentages on that aren't great, and they answered the call. The senior quarterback that put the ball on the line. The transfer receiver they had from North Dakota, number 18, had a great game, and he got out and ran well. All right, we got two of my seniors here today, both mining engineers. Josh Haistreiter is a starting left tackle for us from Nebraska, and Jake Hepp, who's a starting inside linebacker for us from Wyoming. So go on, get up, guys.
Like Coach said, I'm Josh Haistreiter from Lincoln, Nebraska, mining engineer, senior. This actually isn't my first college. I went to the University of Nebraska, Omaha to start my college career, and they actually ended up dropping their football program my freshman year, though. And so I thought I was done with football, but the old coaching staff brought me on, and I'm happy to be here at South Dakota School of Mines now.
Jake Hepp from Buffalo, Wyoming. Yeah, see Ron back there. He's actually from Buffalo. But, yeah, it was a tough one to swallow this week. Obviously, you want to go up against BH, you want to win no matter what, and it's definitely one that doesn't sit well with you, but, like Coach always says, it's a 24-hour period, and we got to move on to this week with Wisconsin, so we're looking forward to get after it Saturday. I play inside linebacker. Yep.
Left tackle, offensive tackle.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You got some making up to do. Yeah.
Any other questions for these guys? Josh, talk about the offense because it seems in the 30 years since Stacy comes on, it seems like you guys have a lot of confidence in shooting score points.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there's never a game that I watch that I feel that you guys don't feel that you can't come back.
Yeah. Coach Tink's offense is great. He's really simplified it down for us O-linemen, and we really have – I mean, we have very few schemes, but what that does for us now is instead of having to learn a whole bunch of different plays, we now get to look at the defense and read what the defense is doing instead of having to worry about what our job is. Instead, we see how the defense does and we'll react to what the defense does, which really helps us. And yeah, being able to spread out the field, having the new passing attack, it's been awesome under Tink, and I've never played this much excitement in football before. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been playing sports my whole life, so it's going to be really different this coming spring without anything to do. But I know once I'm done here, hopefully get a job in the mining industry, and I'm really hoping to go overseas. I'm looking at Australia right now, getting a job somewhere over there.
Yeah, I plan on kind of traveling for about 5 years or so, kind of going where the money takes me, making as much money as I can. But I definitely plan on returning home. Help my dad with we got some business stuff out there we do, so it's probably what I'll be doing in 10 years. Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
Before I let everybody run, a few things to note. Friday night, Joe Berger and the soccer team in action. They're going to have a tailgate down there. Should be a great atmosphere over at Sioux Park. So go and watch the Hardrocker soccer team, and then, of course, the football game. Saturday night, 6 o'clock start. You got the M-Week parade going on at 3 o'clock downtown on Saturday as well. So encourage you to come out. Should be a huge weekend. Thanks to Marco's Pizza as well for sponsoring today's luncheon. Thanks to everybody for coming. Have a great week. Yeah, Saturday at noon. We've got a huge crowd in here. We got a great big crowd right here today. But we got about over 90 people coming to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony on Saturday. 5 athletes getting inducted into the 2014 Hardrocker Hall of Fame, which include Sean Banks is an all-around female athlete in volleyball and basketball. Elaine Foy Baker in women's basketball. Also Brian Gage, all-around athlete in track and football. Craig Nelson's going in for men's basketball, and Rick Wass for Hardrocker football. So 5 great athletes and their friends and family coming back here for the celebration. They're going to be honored here in an induction ceremony Saturday afternoon, and then, of course, recognized at halftime of the football game as well. Thanks to Ken Reed for helping with the Hall of Fame festivities as well. Looking forward to it. Should be a fun weekend. Thanks, everyone.